stress exercises, children screaming on seesaws, bicycles overburdened with cargo, both human and vegetable, trundled down the crowded streets, cars swerving to avoid the monstrously wide loads, as well as the packs of ragged young men darting across the road. Dela saw a familiar low wall, cracked with age, its carved flowers and barbed wire still unchanged. She tapped the plastic barrier, and the driver let her out before the wide entrance, scratched blue doors flung open to admit both foreigners and locals who made their way through a treacherous maze of parked bicycles. Dela saw faces bright with curiosity and greed. Entering Panjiayuan, the dirt market. Tourist trap, hive of antique rip-offs and bald-faced lies. A treasure hunter's paradise. And Dela was in the mood to hunt. Dust swirled around her feet as she slipped past crooked old men and women, hawking nylon shopping bags to beleaguered early birds, hands already full of purchases. Stepping onto the concrete platform shaded by a voluminous tin roof, she listened to cheap jade jingle. Bracelets, statues, necklaces. Pretty enough, and quite popular, if the gathered crowds were any indication. Nothing caught her eye. Potential gifts, perhaps, for acquaintances who would appreciate the gesture. Not good enough for actual friends, few and far between. Deserving of special care, something beyond trinkets. But later, Dela had something else to find. She combed the shadowed interiors of the open-air stalls, searching until she heard a familiar call inside her mind. Weapons. She followed the whispers to their source. Scimitars and short swords, Tibetan daggers, hilts engraved with piled, grinning skulls. Mongol bows, rough with use and age. Quivers flimsy with faded embroidery, metal trimmings. Everywhere dusty tinted steel, but all of it disappointing. The metalwork was poor. These were cheap imitations, for not-so-cheap prices. Dela stared at the eager merchants, who smiled at her blonde hair, pale skin, and electric eyes. Easy mark. She could see it written on their faces, and their judgment made her feel lonely, a foreign emotion and unpleasant. Bad enough they probably think I'm dumb, she thought sourly. Solitude was a gift, but only when paired with anonymity, the disinterested observer. Dela frowned to herself. You shouldn't have returned to China if you didn't want to stand out. Buck up, girl. She left the weapons stalls, ignoring protests, some of which bordered on desperate, with a polite shake of her head. Those weapons offered her nothing. She knew quality when she saw it, age and history when she felt it. A simple thing when one worked with steel as much as she did, when it sang its secrets inside her head. Still looking for treasures, Dela simply wandered for a time, soaking in the heat, the sense of incense and musty artifacts kept too long in shadow. She watched children sell boxed breakfasts of fried noodles and onion pancakes, crying out prices in high voices. She listened to an old man play a lilting melody on a stone flute, and bought one of his small instruments. He laughed when she tried stringing notes together, the hollow stone wheezing miserably. Dela grinned, shrugging. After nearly an hour of browsing, Dela found something perfect for her mother. Generous rectangles of linen, dyed a vibrant navy, embroidered with delicate stylized flowers. A bouquet of colors, random and perfect. She bargained like a fiend, dredging up every scrap of charm and language she possessed. And by the end of the transaction, both she and the seller were grinning foolishly. "Ay-oh," sighed the older woman, smoothing glossy silver hair away from an oval face that looked at least 20 years younger than her body. Gold-flecked eyes glittered, but not unkindly.